Welcome to ShadowMeTarot. I am exploring Lenormand decks, and I have a few. So I'm just kind of building up my little collection. I'm finding Lenormand really resonates for me. It is very equational, right? So like you have 36 positions essentially, and if you laid out all the cards 1 through 36, they kind of like tell a story when you have all the different cards kind of shuffled and then laid out in the 36, like, so that there are 4 rows, and then the last 4 cards down here of 36, so 4 rows up to 32, and then the last 4 cards on the last row here, and then how the cards fall. So if like the number 14 falls in position 1, then you know it's going to be something like news about your career, right? It's just really super simple because position 1 means news and position 14 means career. So that's really what I love about the Lenormand, is like there's really no guessing. You can really kind of extrapolate a full story and really kind of get a well-rounded information. And then gosh, if you want to pull some tarot cards on top of that and pull some intuition stuff, I mean, I get some really thorough, detailed readings and messages that I don't want to say that I don't get from tarot, but because of the formulaic kind of just how formulaic Lenormand is for me, I just feel like maybe I trust it more. I don't know. I don't know really how to say it. I guess I get more words from Lenormand and I get more feelings from tarot. I guess that would be kind of the difference. You're using, yeah, that's it. That's the only thing I can say. I get more words and thoughts from Lenormand and I get more feelings from tarot. Sometimes the feelings I get from tarot are very intense, but I can't necessarily verbalize them. So in any case, this is the Bluebird Lenormand. And there isn't, this is older. This style of divination is older than the Rider-Waite deck, although that deck has its roots and origins that are thousands of years old. But this one, I believe, is European, but you know what? There's correlations, or I don't want to say correlations, but the symbolism, I don't know. There's a lot of transference of symbolism, I think, with all divination and fortune stuff, whether it be using the numbers, but sometimes even the pictures. You'll see kind of crossovers is what I'm finding. But this is the Bluebird Lenormand written by Stuart Kaplan. And I like that Lenormand cards have these very small books. Oh, I'm going to read the biography. I think I did the same thing with Pamela Smith in one of my videos, but let's do this one here. It says Marie Anne Adelaide Lenormand was born on May 27, 1772 in Alençon, Orne, France. She was the eldest of 3 siblings. Her parents died before she was 6, and her care was entrusted to step-parents. Lenormand had a mischievous spirit, and she was often petulant. Life with her stepfather and stepmother proved difficult, and her stepfather decided to entrust her education to the Benedictine nuns of the Royal Academy at Alençon. Lenormand's extraordinary gifts of prophecy became evident at an early age. At the age of 7, she made several predictions for her young companions, which proved remarkably accurate. The devout Benedictines subjected Lenormand to severe punishment of bread and water to counter her budding sorceress abilities. When a Benedictine abbess was dismissed for misconduct, Lenormand predicted that the King of France would name her replacement. 18 months later, her prophecy was fulfilled when the king named a Madame de Lavardy as her successor. Lenormand left the Abbey of the Benedictines for the Abbey of the Sisters of St. Mary, where she continued her education. Although Lenormand showed a great avidity for learning, her stepmother could no longer subsidize her education. She was apprenticed at age 14 to an obscure seamstress, but Lenormand had neither the skill nor temperament for sewing. With only a single white dress and a 6-pound crown, she soon left for Paris. Her stepfather secured a position for Lenormand in a commercial house as a saleswoman where she gained much knowledge and experience. A clerk in the firm taught her arithmetic. Lenormand soon realized that the mysterious numbers and calculations had an application beyond the capacity of her mentor. She was eager to expand her knowledge. At this time, the teachings of Dr. Franz Joseph Gall, 1758 to 1828, were in vogue. Dr. Gall researched the functions of the brain and eventually became known as the originator of phrenology. Lenormand was desperate to go to London to meet the doctor. She had no funds, but she was astute with the calculation of numbers. She won 1,200 francs in a lottery. Immediately, she traveled to London, where Dr. Gall received her cordially. He recognized her special abilities and encouraged her, using the prestige of his name to attract clients for her. Soon she was no longer the little adventurous girl from Alicante. She was now a recognized prophetess, skilled in reading cards. In 1790, at the age of 18, Lenormand returned to Paris. She took employment with an ardent royalist, Mr. Armaval de la Saussat, in Rue Honore Chevalier. He instilled in her a love for the Bourbons. Thereafter, she established herself on Rue de Tournon, opening a salon of divination and a bookstore. She devoted herself full-time to the art of divination. Her fame as a fortune-teller quickly grew. She was arrested and imprisoned by the police several times, although not for very long. These were times of great unrest in France. The breath of revolution and the death was everywhere. Life changed on a fatal encounter. A wrong word or gesture might mean imprisonment or death. Private hatred and resentment burst to the forefront. Mobs ruled in defiance of the king. The guillotine claimed untold victims. Members of the nobility, fearful for their lives, flocked to the Lenormand's door for consultation. It says MLE, so I want to say Mademoiselle Lenormand predicted the violent death of King Louis XVI and did other fortune tellers. As a fervent royalist, Lenormand risked her life in a vain attempt to save Marie Antoinette, who was held at the Temple prison. Mrs. Richard, wife of the prison's concierge and Mykonos prison administrator, conspired with Lenormand in a bold attempt to free the empress. Dressed as an errand girl with a basket of fruit in her hand, Lenormand entered the prison where Marie Antoinette was held, but the empress, bewildered and stupefied, did not have the courage to attempt an escape, and eventually she fell to the guillotine. Lenormand's clients included members of the French court, the nobility, revolutionaries, artists, and fashionably dressed, the wealthy and the poor. There were countless hundreds who publicly displayed an impenetrable shield against imminent danger, but behind closed doors they knew moments of anguish and fear. Notable clients include Robespierre, Marat, Saint-Just, Legendary, Herbert Desmoulins, Barrère, Madame Tallien, Garat, and Barras. The most famous of Lenormand's clients was Empress Josephine. Marie Josephe Rose, Tasher de la... I feel like I'm reading I feel like I'm reading Genesis with all these freaking names in here, man. Alrighty. Okay. She basically read for all the celebrities of her time. Okay, so it says this Tasher de la Pagere was married to Alexander de Beauharnais, Visconti de Beauharnais. Frightened by the unsettling events of the time, Josephine summoned Lenormand for a reading. Lenormand foretold that her husband would be executed and that Josephine would one day be married to a young officer whose star would rise to great fortune. General de Beauharnais was executed on July 23, 1794, and nearly 2 years later, Josephine married Napoleon, the future Emperor of France, on March 9th, 1796. Josephine was a superstitious person and often consulted Mademoiselle Lenormand. During a dramatic reading session, Lenormand foretold to Josephine that Napoleon would divorce her. This so infuriated Napoleon when he learned about it that on December 11th, 1809, he ordered Lenormand imprisoned. The publicity only served to increase the reputation of the prophetess. Napoleon divorced Josephine on January 10th, 1810, years earlier. Or on 1810. Oh, he divorced her literally a year later. Okay. Years earlier, Lenormand had also predicted the emperor's calamitous downfall in 1814 during a severe winter in a foreign land. For over 50 years, Mademoiselle Lenormand reigned as the Paris Sibyl on Rue de Trianon. Beyond the borders of France, she was consulted by kings and queens, princes, and ambassadors, and leading people of all kinds from Europe. Between the years 1809 through 1832, she authored 13 books describing events of the times and her many experiences with Empress Josephine and other nobility. Mademoiselle Lenormand died at age 72 on June 25th, 1843, from complications after an operation that resulted in gangrene. Mademoiselle Lenormand left an estate of 500,000 French francs to her nephew, Alexander Hugo. Her remains are interred in Père Lachaise Cemetery, Paris. Her gravesite was originally marked with a mausoleum. In the mid-1970s, Stuart R. Kaplan visited the gravesite and took a photograph of the mausoleum that had collapsed and fallen into disrepair. The mausoleum has since been replaced with a tomb and a headstone. The reputation of Mademoiselle Lenormand continues today. Her gravesite is visited by many admirers who often leave flowers as a token of their esteem. And here is a picture of her mausoleum and the disrepair it was in 1974. So what was that? Exactly 100 years after her death, right? She died in 1843. So 130 years after her death is what her mausoleum looked like. And it looks like that is what it looks like today. Or in 2014 at least. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Note: material contained in the biography of Mademoiselle Marie Anne Lenormand is drawn from Mademoiselle Lenormand. Sa biographie, ses prédictions extraordinaires sont commerce avec les personnages les plus illustres de l'Europe, de la République, du directoire de... I speak Spanish. I don't speak French. I did my best. And it looks like Stuart R. Kaplan actually is the owner of the second edition of the book that he stole that from. And it's held in a private library. Okay. His private library. Okay. The Bluebird Lenormand cards, the explanation printed on each card and sample card spreads are described more fully on the following pages. Card readers should allow their own interpretations of the cards using the text as a basis for basic card meanings. With practice, the cards will afford many rewarding hours of insight and enjoyment. So it goes through and it explains each of the cards. We're not going to do that in this video because we have these little poems on each one of these. So we're going to go ahead and get a start on these. I think what I am going to do is put another Lenormand deck that has words on it next to it. I think that's the best maybe way of doing this. So you can see that this is the size of a traditional like tarot deck. It's about the same size as it is the same height as a tarot card. It's just a little wider than a tarot card. Well, no, it's a tarot card. And this is the Lenormand deck. I got that on Etsy. But this will give you an idea of the differences between, I guess, decks in terms of finding their meanings. As we go through these, please remember to, let me know what your favorites are. Always, as always, please like, subscribe, and share. That definitely helps me grow this channel so I can continue to do these unboxings for you all. And I do love doing them. And if I haven't said so already, thank you so much for watching. All right, so Cavalier. This is the writer. Number 1, heed well, good news from the Cavalier. Impassioned views promise good cheer, saddened that hides veiled in the day. Once disguised, soon flies away. And I'm going to let you guys pause and read the actual meanings. I did the Under the Roses Lenormand, and I did read all of the meanings for this, and I think that this deck actually does a very good job for those meanings. So this is really just to kind of read the poems and see how they hit you, and see if it's something that's useful for you in a reading. So far, I kind of like it. I liked it though before when I bought it. That's why I bought it. So. All right, here we go. Number 2, flowers surrounded in clover leaf mean happiness surmounted over grief. Bits of luck and fortune await. You have the potential to make life great. A ship carrying gold sails straight into view. Lined in its hold are fortunes for you. If you should travel with a special friend, memories unfurl for years upon end. I feel like these poems give the cards context than just these one-word meanings, right? And an excellent way of memorizing the cards. Number 4, a stately house beyond the gate bestows stability upon your fate. In love and play, your chance to win depends on how you first begin. So I want to just say that I always think of the Emperor when I think of the number 4. I do feel like the Emperor is like house and home in terms of like the structural stability of the home. So I like that parallel between Tarot and Lenormand in the sense that 4 is very much kind of a foundational, stable kind of energy. I think 4 in numerology is also, that is where, well, it's a structure, order, and control. All right. Number 5. One tree from earth is best to see. It springs from birth, good health for thee. And if the tree should reappear close to the square, your goal is near. See, and that's a clue on how to read the cards. I like this. I like it. 6. Clouds brightly shine, strong in precision. Life will be fine with firm decision. Beware of clouds, misty and obscure. Life cloaked in darkness is hard to endure. 7. Vile is the serpent who lulls with a bite, but not indulgent or slow to the fight. Flee every moment she turns on the charm. This poised opponent will bring you to harm. 8. Illness is known, sickness is near, fate has its own ending to fear. You lose your money, all's hopeless to you, and what is the saddest, your courage fails too. All right, guys, I've been terrible in not reading the bottom of these cards, but I'll start doing that now. This is the coffin. All right, flowers. Number 9, happiness anew from the flowers sent. The outlook for you means encouragement. Days will be filled with pleasures come true. Fate has so willed the best unto you. Number 10, the Scythe, or the Scythe, the Scythe. The Scythe cuts bare, danger stalks too. Of strangers beware, they can harm you. If nearby cards hold favorable view, with swift action you'll overcome too. Number 11, this is the birch rod, and it's also known as the whip. The birch rod brings strife to what should be bliss. To husband and wife, all has gone amiss. Prepare for sorrows that dampen the day, begotten of quarrels that bring much dismay. And I am really feeling like domestic violence when it comes to number 11 here. I definitely feel domestic violence. Or abuses of some sort. 12, birds bring a message, or birds bring a message full of cheer. If this card falls distant, it is not all clear. All is not clear. Whatever the outcome, remain without fear. Woes will be brief when the birds disappear. 13, when a sweet child smiles your way, innocence brings joy to fill your day. Friends are many, enemies are few. Embrace a fresh start in all you do. 14. Fox. The fox is sly, a friend is too. Some may try to deceive you with wily glances. The renard snaps, evade deception, and beware old traps. 15 is the bear. Brawny and bold, here is the bear. Your financial positions you should be aware. Spend your resources with wisdom and care. Use your power to be strong and fair. 16. Shining stars bright in the sky bodes joy from afar where happiness lies. In starlight dreams come true. Hope is in sight, success is in view. And even though the star is 17 in the tarot, it's nice to see that the star symbolism is about the same. Hope for both of them. 17. Stork. A stork in flight promises delight. A stork in range signals change. Progress heals pain. Drawn from the past, embrace kindness and new friendships will last. 18. Man's best friend, faithful and true. His soul he lend in trust to you. A pat on the head delights the old boy and rewards you greater with loyalty and joy. 19. A lone tower, or this is the tower. 19. A lone tower stands confident and secure. Ground your strength in all that is pure. When troubles surround, weakness may come. Problems that abound you must overcome. 20. The garden. The garden's entreat, to a party you'll go. New friends will arrive and romance may flow. Life's to be enjoyed with nature all round. In this verdant setting, beauty and peace abound. 21. Mountain. Confront the mountain as you would a fierce foe. To avoid your defeat, strike hard the first blow. This clear obstacle is a chance to succeed. Courage and persistence are all you will need. 22. A road in the open reveals the best way. Choose wisely your path to avoid any dismay. Follow your dreams with faith and precision. All will be clear once you've made your decision. 23. The robber mice. Take your time. The robber mice. Oh, this is the mice card number 23. Okay. The robber mice take your treasure. Inside the house they steal with pleasure. Hope's not forgone. When this card is near, once the mice are gone, you'll regain what is dear. 24. Heart. The heart is a symbol of fulfillment and joy. Romance is in full bloom for you to enjoy. Serenity rests deep in thy heart. Loving yourself is where it should start. 25. Ring to the right, your love is alive. It will be bright and continue to thrive. Ring to the left and your troubles begin. Your heart will be left and filled with chagrin. 26. The unopened book. Weave stories concealed. When pages are read, the truth is revealed. The book guards tales of inner emotion. Blessed are the words of deep devotion. 27. The surprise letter from a place remote brings good news from a friend who wrote. If the words portend a stormy sky, sadness will soon much intensify. 28. This principal card shows a man's tried and true, held high in regard. He tells fortunes for you and upon your behest. If the cards are read well, the worst and the best, the cards will foretell. Okay. So what I find strange about this, and I know this is in like every single Lenormand deck, and I don't know why. There's 2 of these, and I probably need to do more research. But we have a younger woman and an older woman, and I believe you pull out the woman. Like if you're doing a a young man, then you pull out the old man. And if you're doing an old woman, then you pull out the young woman. I don't know. Anyways, number 29 is the man. Or 28 is the man. Sorry. 29 is the lady. And these both say exactly the same. These both say exactly the same thing. So we only have older or younger here. And then we move on to the lady. And I'll go ahead and show them both here. There we go. This charming woman with flowers in hand, as with the gentleman her cards will command, the fortunes revealed, once the cards have been placed, unveil the fate that destiny traced. And then we have number 30 is the lily. Lilies are white, green leaves surround. The outlook is bright and passion will abound. When this card rests higher, it means good disposition. The card resting lower is a dubious position. And we have the sun for number 31. The sun is warm and brightens the day. Good luck has begun to come your way. The closer your location, you bask in sweet bliss. Energy abounds in summer's radiant kiss. 32, the moon. The slumbering moon, when it rises near, means that great honors are bound to appear. Intuition and perception soar in the night. Emotions wax and wane in the moon's light. 33. Inspiration unlocks the door. Solutions are the key to success and more. Miracles and insight are easy to trace once the final piece tumbles into place. 34. Fish. When fish swims near in an ocean vast, prospects are clear for a fortune amassed. If a fish swims away, hopes are battered. Cheer turns to dismay, and dreams are shattered. 35. The anchor is a sign of a stable event. Basked in sunshine, secure the content. When the anchor is some distance away from you, hope will fade and leave life askew. 36. A cross weaves pain, historically sad. A distance too close means tidings are bad. Suffering increases when the cross is near, but burdens can lift if you persevere. And that is the end of the Bluebird Lenormand deck. I like it. I think that this is a great starter deck. It gives you a feeling as to which direction the reading is going to go, and it gives you an idea as to which cards are important in their positioning. I have not figured out a way yet, or have thought really of a way of interviewing Lenormand decks yet. I could probably ask it its personality and its strengths and weaknesses, but because it's so, I don't know, it just feels very mathematically variable. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I'll get the same kind of reading from it. I don't know. I guess I can try. We can try it. I'll try it, but I'll try it. Cards are thick. They warm up quick. It's a small deck, so I'm just not asking it any questions yet. they do shuffle nicely. And they warmed up really quickly as well. All right, so what personality does this deck have? What is the personality of this deck? Oh, structure. Maybe I can do this with the Lenormand deck. Who knew? Who knew? Okay, so a stately house beyond the gate bestows stability upon your fate in love and play. Your chances to win depend on how you first begin. So I feel like this is a deck that is stable. I think I feel that way actually really about Lenormand anyway, is that it does feel like a very stable, mathematical kind of message. What is your strength? What is your strength? Whoa, that's too many strengths. Those two landed right next to where it needed to go, so I'm going to flip those over. And we have the Sith. The Sith cuts bare. Danger stalks too. If strangers beware, they can harm you. If nearby cards hold favorable view, with swift action, you'll overcome too. And then this, it says, a cross weaves pain, historically sad. A distance too close means tidings are bad. Suffering increases when cross is near, but burdens can lift if you persevere. And I really feel like this is a great deck to go to for questions about things that you're not trusting or you have fears about. So I think coming here for your fears and your pains is what I'm feeling. That is the strength of this card, is to address your fears and your pain. What is your weakness? What is your weakness? What is your weakness? Happiness anew from the flowers sent. The outlook for you means encouragement. Days will be filled with pleasures come true. Fate has so willed the best unto you. I feel like this is not an affirmation deck. I feel like it's not here to make you feel good. It's not here to make you happy. It doesn't feel like there's encouragement in this. I feel like it's very black and white and logical. And I do very much feel like Lenormand is less emotional than tarot. Let me know what you guys think. If you're working with Lenormand at home too, like, tell me what the differences between Lenormand and tarot feel like for you. Because I do see a lot of readers kind of mixing them, and I really kind of understand how they're doing it the more I learn about, or why they're doing it the more I learn about Lenormand, because it's like balancing the heart and the mind when you're kind of using these. That's just kind of how I feel. That's just me. All right. How will you help me to grow? How will you help me to grow? Ooh, see that? It did a full 360 on the camera too, and it didn't pop out. I think that's so neat when they like flip completely over and then don't pop out. I'll have to rewind the video and see which card that was that flipped over. That just wanted to like be like, hey you, whoever's watching. Somebody, that was for you. Oh wow. Okay. This was for how will you help me to grow? And good. It's going to give me good messages. First, you're not good at affirmations. Now you're going to give me messages. Okay. Heed well good news from the cavalier. Impassioned views. Promise good cheer. Sadness that hides veiled in the day. Once disguised, soon flies away. I just do feel like this is really going to cut to the heart in a logical way. Your pains and your fears. Your sadness. Your grief. And I think rather than like, I don't know, I think rather than building you up, it's just going to be like, is this true? You know, is this true? When should I call on you for guidance? When should I call on you for guidance? And I just want to say that this card covered the house, the scythe, and the cross. So I almost feel like when there's problems within your home or within your family is when, and things need to change, is when I need to call on this. So it's like when your life is sick, because the coffin is an illness card, right? So when your life is sick, and you need to cut away things, to heal things, or to lift your burdens or make a new choice. This says, the coffin says, illness is known, sickness is near, fate has its own ending to fear. You lose your money, all's hopeless to you, and what is the saddest? Your courage fails too. So I feel like when your courage is down, when your courage is down, when it's like, why do I even bother getting up? You know what I mean? Like, you've been knocked to the mat so many times. Why even bother getting up? I feel like that's when you come to this card. That's when you come to this deck for guidance. All right. What is the best way to work with you? What is the best way to work with you? And I want to just say this. I'll put this out there. The best way for me to work with Lenormand, or what I have found, is using the full 36 cards, and doing the grand tableau or the grand tableau. I don't know how to say it. The grand table. The grand tableau is really what I find I get the strongest, most clear messages from. Just saying out there. So what is the best way to work with you? Stork. To me, this is just like a new beginning. When you need a new beginning, particularly in the home, this is when I should work with this deck. And it says, a stork in flight promises delight. A stork in range signals change. Progress heals pain drawn from the past. Embrace kindness and new friendships will last. And what will our relationship be like? What will our relationship be like? What will our relationship be like? And it says heart. And I do feel like it's going to be it will be compassionate, because the heart hit this cross. It's going to be compassionate with the pain that you kind of experience in life, right? Oh, that just wanted to fly out. It says, the heart is a symbol of fulfillment and joy. Romance is in full bloom for you to enjoy. Serenity rests deep in thy heart. Loving yourself is where it should start. And the last card that decided to fly out unexpectedly, it says, when fish swim near in an ocean vast, prospects are clear for a fortune amassed. If fish swim away, hopes are battered, cheer turns to dismay, and dreams are shattered. So I just feel almost like there's a real fortune telling or predictive quality to these cards as well. So I think I would use this card for prediction, for this deck, for prediction, for career, for things that are less emotional, but may have me down emotionally. That's kind of how I feel about this deck. What do you think of this deck? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know what resonated for you. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful, blessed day.